Good morning to you all, my dear students. Let's continue our chapter Electoral Politics, chapter number 3 of class ninth. We have already discussed about the reserved constituency and the procedure of elections. Today we will discuss about the what makes elections in India democratic and challenges to free and fair elections. Now, first of all, we will discuss about the what makes election in India democratic. In India, their elections are democratic. Here are some truths about these elections. First is Independent Election Commission. In our country, elections are conducted by an independent and very powerful election commission, and it enjoys the same kind of independence that the judiciary enjoys. The chief election commissioner is appointed by the president, but once he or she is appointed, then he or she is not answerable to the president or the government. And election commissioner has a fixed tenure of 5 years. Next point is popular participation. In India, the poor, illiterate and underprivileged people vote in larger proportion as compared to the rich. Means participation of poor is more than the rich and privileged persons. This is in contrast to Western democracies. Why? Because in Western democracies, rich people participate more. For example, in United States of America, poor people, African Americans, vote much less than the rich and the white people. Our next point is expectancy of election outcome. Expectancy of election outcome. The outcome of India's election speaks for itself. The ruling party is routinely lose elections in India, and both at the national and the state levels. In fact, in every 2 out of the 3 elections held in the last 15 years, the ruling party lost. Next is regular elections. In India, Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections are held regularly after every 5 years, and after 5 years the term of all elected representatives comes to an end. Participation of people in election related activities. It is not only the turnover and casting of votes, so people are also taking lot of interest in election related activities. So we can say that in India, elections in India are democratic. These we have discussed about the important points. Now let's talk about the challenges to free and fair election. Our first challenge is that there is wide gap between the seats won and the votes polled. It means that the political parties do not secure as many as percent of seats as many percent of votes they secure. Second challenge is elections are very expensive. Elections have become very expensive in India, but consequently a poor person, however capable he may be, but he cannot dream of contesting an election. Third is misuse of government machinery. According to Election Commission, government machinery is prohibited, but during elections the government machinery becomes propaganda machinery of ruling party. Fourth one is problem of smaller parties and independent candidates. Smaller parties and independent candidates suffer a huge disadvantage as compared to the big parties. Fourth one, to get support on the basis of religion, language, caste, etc. It is often seen that different political parties instigate the feeling of the people by propagating on the basis of religion, caste, language, race, etc. They try to secure their votes. So these were the challenges before our country for free and fair elections. I repeat the points. There is wide gap between seats won and the votes polled. Election Commission. Elections are very expensive. There is misuse of government machinery. There is a problem of small parties and independent candidates, and to get support on the basis of religion, caste, language, etc. Now let's discuss about the Election Commission and its functions. The entire process of election in our country is conducted, controlled and supervised by an independent body called Election Commission. Now what are the functions of Election Commission? First is conduct of elections. The Election Commission is obliged to conduct all the elections to the parliament, state assemblies, and it also supervise and direct the elections to the office of the President and Vice President of India. Second is recognition to political parties. The Election Commission grants recognition to political parties. Allotment of symbols. The Election Commission allots symbols to a political party and to independent candidates. Fourth is ensuring free and fair elections. To ensure free and fair elections is one of the major function of Election Commission. Next one is the Model Code of Conduct for election. We have already discussed about the Model Code of Conduct. These are the guidelines followed by the political parties during the elections. So it is also a main important function of Election Commission to prescribe a Model Code of Conduct for the candidates and political parties which ought to be followed by them. Next function is preparation of electoral rolls, means election voter list. It is also prepared by the Election Commission, and it includes the name of the valid voters in electoral rolls. So these were the functions of Election Commission. Thank you for from my side today. We will next discuss next chapter in our next video. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.